Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bourbon Basement. And I think that we actually need to reintroduce ourselves because we've been gone for so long. I'm Ryan,
I'm Steve.
and we just want to sincerely apologize for the absence the month of July. For some reason, this month has
Busy.
just been so busy.
Busy month of July.
We had 4th of July, which kicked it all off, and then we had,
Missed that episode. Didn't
yep,
do an episode there.
and then you were on call, and I think you were actually busy on the Friday. Like you were actually out
Yeah.
actively working on that
That was
Friday.
last Friday though.
Last Friday, but then the Friday before that, we had the Bourbon Basement
We had our taste.
actually tasting. And normally our first episode back would have been a recap of that, but this episode was kind of thrown together because he's on call again,
Still on
still
call.
on call. So we were gonna miss another episode, but we didn't want to go an entire month because we had already started losing some subscribers, and we noticed that the morale was real low, and we missed doing the live stream. So we said we're not going a full month without doing it. We can't do that. So we kind of tossed together a little episode here. Hopefully it suffices, but at least you get to see our beautiful faces again. I know you all missed us.
Definitely. I've missed you all.
I
If
don't
if y'all haven't missed us, I've missed you all anyway.
I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you all saw the transmission that tried to go through on the live stream, but as you can see, the technical difficulties have not gone anywhere on the Bourbon Basement. We're still
Probably,
experiencing everything.
well, probably worse because we haven't done it in 3 weeks.
Well, we tried to go live for some reason. The settings for YouTube didn't update. Hopefully the audio and everything's okay though, but we should be live and good to go
We're
now.
getting, we're getting thumbs up from our
Yeah,
producers.
right. So I think the worst is behind us. Yay, so glad you're back. Glad to be back.
We
It
back.
has been a long 3 weeks without the Bourbon Basement, and it's felt weird.
I've missed my drinking buddies. I've missed talking bourbon. I've missed it.
That being said, I wouldn't have got to participate in the one that we missed on Friday because I was actually on call the night that we had the Bourbon Basement quarterly tasting, so I didn't even get to take part in that.
You didn't.
But it's been a month here in the
And
Bourbon
then
Basement.
today's episode is going to be different, not what we normally do,
As you can see, we both just got water up here right
because
now.
I am actually
He's
on
on
call
call.
and he's got somewhere to go right after this show.
Well, we both do.
Well, that's true. I'm going to help you. So,
We got family mechanical bounds that are going to be coming up after the Bourbon Basement tonight.
real
So
men stuff.
yeah, just
Real
Uh,
men stuff.
anyway, glad to see that we've actually got some viewers on here. I was hoping it wouldn't be a goose egg up there.
I
Uh,
called all the ones I knew and said, "Hey, please tune in."
I did send out a post. I don't know if you all saw it, but I did send out a post on the Bourbon Basement YouTube channel saying that we would be back live tonight and then back, hopefully, if everything works out. Good Lord of mercy, back on our normal Friday weekly schedule. But
I'd
we'll
like to
cross that
be.
bridge as we
I'd
come.
like to get back in form. I'm still shooting for episode 50 because I've got a special thing planned there. I think we've only had 42 or 43 now, so it seems like it's taken longer to get there, but
Well, we did miss 3 weeks.
we did. Uh, so today's
It
episode,
happens. It happens. We took it
busy
easy.
times. If you all want to turn on your notifications, I think you'll get notified of the post if we do have to cancel a show, right?
I think that's how it works. I'm not completely sure because I've
And
only posted twice on YouTube. Didn't even know it was a thing.
well, sometimes even without canceling a show, we move a show to Saturday or we move a show to Thursday or something like that. So
But it's
different
been
start
so
times.
busy that we haven't even had really the opportunity to do that.
Well, being on call for a long time, you was on call. I've been on call. It's been a
So
horrible.
2 out of the 3 weeks we wouldn't have really got to have a show anyway because one of us would have not been drinking.
That's
So
right. So, and we're not going to drink tonight, but we got some things to tell you all about. But we don't want you all to stop drinking because we're here. We're still here to talk bourbon. If you have questions about it, go ahead, pour you a glass, your favorite bourbon, and just drink
this
with us and get through this episode.
this is going to be more of a feeler episode, just getting back in the groove of things, actually getting back in front of the camera again. Just having a nice chill Friday evening. No bourbon in front of us, but once again, that does not mean that there should not be a glass in front of you.
That's correct. And we want it there.
We want it there. If I
It makes our show better if you're drinking.
I promise. I promise it does, really. The
Uh,
more you drink, the better our show gets.
So, as we were deciding, yes, we need to have a show tonight. We need to throw something together. We need to do something, even though we can't drink. I was
This
trying
was
to,
all put together by him because I
uh,
just got home like an hour before we went live.
I've always had some show plans for like when I do just a video, not a live episode, just a video of me doing bourbon talk. But anyway, So one of the ideals I had was this. So we were just going to do it together. So hopefully I don't exclude you in this. I want you to participate as well.
I'm just here to look pretty.
No, you're here for your knowledge and drive and ambition. No. All right, but anyway,
Really
so
pushing it.
well, a lot of times when you do podcasts or you tell people you're doing a podcast, they think you know a lot about bourbon. So then they ask you a lot of questions about it. And sometimes I can answer them and sometimes I can't. But a lot of people say, "Hey, Steve, what bourbon do you recommend for beginners?" So I got to thinking about that because on the spot, sometimes I can't even think of a bourbon that I'm like, "Yes, this is the one you need for a beginner."
I mean, I got a pretty easy go-to.
Well, what's your go-to?
I don't think I should say it because I think that we're going to be talking about it.
Well, that's okay. What's your go-to?
I mean, either Jim Beam or Woodford.
Okay.
Depends on how the two
Well,
different price
I'm glad you
ranges.
said that. So now Woodford is in this. We're gonna do like a top 5 bourbons for beginners, but I want to clarify the word beginner. So I'm not talking about somebody that's never had bourbon before, or somebody that's gonna go and take some bourbon and put into some Coke or any other mixed drink.
An actual drinker,
I'm
just a
talking
sipper.
about a beginner that wants to sip and try to experience the flavors of
And
not just to drink bourbon for pure alcohol
you can do
level.
that with Jim Beam, but it gets a lot better from there.
Well, I mean, Jim Beam, you would consider Jim Beam a bottom shelf,
But
right?
as far as the bottom shelves go, I think Jim Beam holds his own, even though it didn't in our series. If you haven't watched it on our video series that we did, it didn't really hold its own against some of the other ones. But I think it's an easy one to get your hands on. You every liquor store you ever go into, you're gonna find it. It's cheap, and I don't think it's awful.
It's not.
And it's a big name.
It is, but what I wanted to do was not give you the bottom shelf bourbon that you're going to get just a lot of sweetness from and maybe some heat and a lot of that alcohol flavor. I want you as a beginner to drink on something better that you're going to pull some of these flavors out of that maybe uh still won't break the bank. So, and the only bottom shelf bourbon that I would recommend now doing our under $20 bourbons would be Very Old Barton. So if I'd say, hey, if you're wanting something
Really?
under $20, that's the one that won.
Ancient Age tied it.
Okay, but I like the Very Old Barton. You picked Ancient Age, and somehow our score's still 10.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
If y'all
So
haven't watched that series, you ought to go watch it. It's pretty good. It was not the most enjoyable series, but
to drink to
it was
do.
not it was not the worst experience ever. I was pleasantly surprised with a lot of them. So you might get some good ideas by watching that series.
You can. All right. So just to clarify, if you're looking for something just bottom shelf, you don't want to pay a lot of money, I'm going to say Very Old Barton. All right. So, but that's not what this episode is. This is the 5 bourbons that I would recommend for a beginner that's trying to enjoy bourbon for bourbon, enjoy and develop the palate, get that taste in there, and get started in the enjoying. And that's why Woodford's on there for me because that's the one that started me when I drank Woodford. When I was introduced to Woodford Reserve, that's the one I was like, wow.
It was all downhill from there.
Well, I was like, wow, bourbon, there's something to this. It ain't all just a lot of alcohol compared to beer or wine or anything else. You take those drinks. If you're a beer drinker, you're getting what's a beer? 14% maybe? 10?
Oh gosh, 5?
5? Oh, see, I'm not a beer drinker.
5, most of them are 4.5, like your Michelobes, your Coors, those are about 4.5.
So you got 4.5%. Well, you take bourbon, even it's at least 80 proof. So at least 40.
That's a Four Loko.
Well, it's at
14%.
least bourbon's at least 40% alcohol. So that tells you the big difference right there. So anyway, these are the 5 bourbons for beginners that producer got on you, didn't you?
I happened to just rub like this, and I picked the scab, and it actually hurt a little bit. Sorry about that, folks.
All right. So I'll start. You jump in. If you say, hey, that reminds me of this one, go ahead and throw that in there. Okay?
I'm gonna put this out there real quick. If you want a nice, easy, well, first of all, you're getting 2 birds with one stone. If you want to develop your bourbon palate and get a nice variety across the board as to what a distillery has to offer, go on a tour.
That's a
Go
good
on a
suggestion.
distillery tour. You're going to get to see the distillery. It's a good experience no matter where you. I've never been on a bad distillery tour.
No, me either.
Never been on a bad one. And
And
they
you'll
give
get a
you
lot of their regular stuff.
regular stuff, and then they'll give you a couple of sometimes special edition ones, but they'll give you like just say that you go to Woodford.
Oh,
You're gonna get the regular Woodford. You're gonna get like their rye. You're gonna get their
you'll get a
uh,
double oak.
double oak, and then you're gonna get there's why not. They might give you a master's collection. I don't remember if they gave you a master's collection or
I
not.
think each tour may be a little bit different from time of year or what's out.
But go on a tour because
But you'll get like a special.
you're gonna get a very nice
The last time we had
variety on your palate.
5 on there.
5, yeah. So if you want to experiment like that, not necessarily beginner wise, there are some beginner ones on there. But if you really want to see what you're into as far as bourbons, go on a distillery tour.
So I'm going to start with mine as the lowest proof. And a lot of time when we think proof, you think alcohol, of course, because 40% alcohol is 80 proof, right? Uh, I'm
Which
going to
is
start
low
with
for a bourbon, just
it.
putting
Well,
that out there.
that's the lowest a
Yeah.
bourbon can be is 80 proof. So 40% alcohol is the lowest. They're usually easy drinkers. So a lot of people will tell you, well, just look for low proof. Well, that's not necessarily true because, like we just talked about, those bottom shelves are lower proofs. You can't get a lot of those flavors. You'll get some of the sweetness, but it's hard to pull flavors out. So I'm going to give you some that I think you can pull flavors out of. And then I'm going to tell you why I chose these. So we'll start with this one. Uh, this is just Basil Hayden.
There's nothing in this bottle.
This is an empty bottle. It's decorative. But this is Basil Hayden. It's an 80 proof bourbon. You can find it anywhere on any liquor store shelf.
We were introduced to this one by was it Gene Boy?
Gene Boy.
Gene Boy
Yeah.
introduced us to
And
this one.
it's a good sweet bourbon. This is produced by Jim Beam. So there's your big Jim Beam name. Okay.
Different
Uh,
name on the bottle, same producer.
these are about $30. All right. Around ish $30. And this one here is particular. So it's 63% corn. I'm talking mash, guys. This is the recipe
Mashed
that makes
potatoes.
this. So it's 63% corn. It's a 27% rye, and it's 10 malted barley. So this is your typical rye forward bourbon. And 23%, you're like, or 27%, you're like, wow, that's a lot of rye. It's probably spicy. You do get some black pepper in there, but the sweet notes tone it down. Very smooth to drink, easy to drink. A lot of Basil Hayden, and like I said, $30 a bottle.
We did do a show on that. If you haven't already, go back and watch it.
That's right.
Spoiler alert, quality is not there because we were just now starting out, but it's a good video. You ought to go watch it.
We haven't done a show on this one though.
But we have
And
done on this.
so this is Basil Hayden, but it's 10 years old. So it's exactly the same as this,
I wish that we had the color to
except
compare
it's
it
10
to.
years. Now this one is about a $80 bottle, I guess, 80 to 90, I guess. So 30, you can see the difference what years make, because this one's probably 4 or 5 years old. This one is 10 years
I
old.
thought you were talking about color. I was like, Father, this is confetti.
Not in the color. Uh, so if you age something longer, you're going to have less product of it. So therefore, they got to mark it up higher.
That being said, from what I remember, what this looked like in the bottle, that is significantly darker.
This is a lot darker. But this one here, it's a more.
Do we have anything over there to compare it to? We've got two
No.
Basil Haydens down here, but is it anything close to what was in here as far as color goes?
I don't know.
I
So
see a toasted.
do you
and a-
agree or disagree with Basil Hayden as a beginner friendly?
From what I remember, I think it was very smooth. I think that you were able to pull out the notes of it. Like I said, we have a whole show on it. If you want an
Yeah.
actual in depth of this, go check it out.
I think it blended the sweet and spicy really well. I think it would be something that you could sip on and that you can actually look for vanilla or caramel sweetness in and find.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right.
Also, guys, if you have any suggestions that we or that you don't see behind us, of course, you probably can't see any, but if you have a suggestion as to what your beginner bourbon would be for someone, let us know. Let us know if we missed something.
So my second one. Now, I don't know about if you would agree with this or not, but my second one here is the Evan Williams. It's the single barrel vintage. All right. This is a pretty awesome drink. All right. And the reason I put this in here now, this is 86.6 proof. That doesn't sound like a high proofage for the heat that this one does have. This one drinks more mature, and more of a higher alcohol level
The reason
than
for
it
that is because it's a
says.
single barrel.
But that's why I wanted it in here. So this is a single barrel. These are, I would say, a small batch or just a batch. Don't know how many barrels go in these, but this one here is one barrel goes into this bottle. They don't mix anything, and so if you are a beginner, this is a pretty low proof for a single barrel. Uh, you get a lot of good flavors out of this bottle, and it also is around $30, maybe 35, something like that.
It's a pretty cheap single barrel bourbon.
But out of this one here is 78 corn, uh, 10 rye, 12 malted barley. All right. So this one actually has the second being a malted barley at 12. But it's a rye recipe bourbon because there's no wheat or nothing like that. And it's just 10 rye. Uh, do you remember this one?
Not as well as what I probably should.
All right. So on this one, I made some notes on it, but uh, this one here, I remember getting caramel apple and then finishing with that oaky barrel taste, and I really enjoyed it.
That's similar to what I got out of EH.
Now, some people that have this won't think it's a beginner friendly bourbon, but if you are a beginner, you need to distinguish between the single barrels and small batches. You need to
They're very different.
because you want to try different things in order to find out what you like, and then you can go more towards those bigger bottles. Now, this here also available at any store. Find them just about anywhere. I'm not going to get you hard to find bottles because I can tell you, oh, beginner friendly. Let's Weller 12, but you'll never find it. And then if you do, you're going to pay out the butt for it. So
Oh, watch your profanity.
just want you all to be able to go to the store, get something, and say, yes, hey, that guy was right or that guy's wrong. He don't know what he's talking about.
Another thing, I'm just going to be one for suggestions, I guess, this episode. But another thing I will suggest, if you are curious as to what a bourbon tastes like and you can't find a sample of it anywhere, go to a bar, go to a bourbon bar, get a pour of it. Because the last thing you want to do is go spend money on a bottle and then end up not liking it. If you're so this is more if you're in the upper range, which is not really what we're talking about in this
Yeah,
episode
these are
pertain.
just 30
Yeah,
bottles.
$30. I mean, you get a whole bottle for $30. That's not too bad. But if you're getting up into like the 65, 70, even $80 bottles, I would definitely recommend going to a bourbon bar and sampling that bourbon because a $10 pour of a more expensive bourbon is going to be a lot better if you don't like it than wasting 80 to $100 on a bottle that's just going to sit there and go to waste.
But if you get a bottle and you don't like it, send it to me.
Send it. We take
Just
donations.
DM me. I'll give you my address.
I don't know if you're able to ship open bottles, but we'll find a way to do it.
Find a way.
We'll dip it in wax. We'll go to Makers and dip it back in wax and then ship it that way.
Now, I know you're going to agree with this.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
All
That's a
right.
no-brainer, guys.
So
We
that's
all
your
know what this is.
that's your Woodford.
This is the bourbon basement. This is the house special, is what we call this. Because I mean, I don't know of anyone in this home that does not like Woodford.
No, it's
Yeah,
very good.
my sister doesn't like any alcohol. Let's
But
put that.
this is for her then. These are the ones that'll get her started.
I don't know if anything will get her started.
These are the ones that'll get her started.
Oh,
So
hey, speak of the devil, and she walks in. Her ears must have been burning. Welcome.
So this is 90.4 proof. It's 72 corn, 18 rye, and 10 malted barley. I don't know what he's got planned here, folks.
Y'all ain't gonna believe me unless I literally. There she is.
Whoa, just checking in. Wow, get out of
She
here.
actually was here, guys.
All right. So, with this one here, what do you like so much about this one?
That one, I think even just the small batch, which is what that one is, you get oakiness, which I'm a huge fan of in bourbon. It drinks extremely smooth. This one's a 90 proof, I believe it is, which is that's almost like Moneyball for like people getting into bourbon.
90.4, yeah.
Guys, here we go. This is why we stopped for 3 weeks. We needed a break. No, but it drinks extremely smooth, 90.4 proof. And just I'm kind of the same way as him. From the moment that I had that bourbon, It was, I mean, we've had a lot of
Yeah,
bourbon in this bourbon basement. I still think the regular small batch Woodford holds its own.
it does. It's really good bourbon. It's really smooth.
Really affordable as far as a good middle
This
grade
is
bourbon.
around $30, $35. Just and that's what kind of the range. If you're looking for bourbon that you can actually sip and try to pull flavors from, you're probably this is about as low as cost as you're going to get for that. You know what I
If
mean?
you actually want to develop a palate off of it and
Yeah.
actually have multiple flavors rather than just a
Like I said,
sweetness
this
tone.
is the one that jumped out at me, and I was like, "There's something different about this bourbon than the other bourbons I've been drinking."
And I feel like that would be kind of a popular opinion if you ask, like, took a poll about people, like, if if they had Woodford, what did that make them think about bourbon? Or if it made them think any deeper into
It
bourbon after having some of the lower shelf things.
it just made me think totally different about bourbon. It made me this is what made me want to start the bourbon basement and taste different bourbons because this one was so much different than any bourbon I have tasted to that point.
Funny story about this. It doesn't pertain to this at all, but
Well, put in there. That's what we
I
do.
say funny story about this. It doesn't actually pertain to this. It pertains to Woodford, but not really about the episode. But I regret doing it now because I'm ashamed of myself. But this was actually the first drink I ever had after turning 21. I had a bourbon and coke with Woodford, and it was so it was so amazing. And I know that
Best
you
bourbon and Coke you ever had.
oh, it really was. You don't mix these kind of bourbons with bourbon and coke unless you've just got money like that, guys. You just don't do it. You mix the Jim Beams and the Kentucky Gentleman and stuff like
You
that.
should be ashamed.
This weirdo mixes Makers with his, which is about on the same spectrum in price as this. Uh,
It's right next. And I told you that was because I was cool in school.
but I made the mistake of doing that, but that was a more expensive bourbon and coke. That was probably about a I think that was like an $8 bourbon and coke when they're normally around 4.50, $5. So that was a little bit more expensive bourbon and coke, but it was great. And the next bourbon and coke I got, it was mixed with Kentucky Gentleman, and the difference, guys, the difference was night and day. It was uncomparable. It was uncomparable. It almost tasted like burnt tires
Well,
compared to Woodford and Coke.
this bourbon here is up here because I think it has a very complex flavor profile. Okay. I drank this. The further I'm away from it, when I come back to it, find something different in it.
And we haven't had a regular open
That
bottle of Woodford.
and this one I bought, a month ago, and we haven't opened. So,
The only bottle of Woodford that we've had open for quite some time is
and that's why I got this one up here.
double
So
doubles.
complex. You get fruits. You get uh,
I get caramel, oat,
oak,
nut.
caramel. You get
You
nuts
can
and
pull a
stuff.
lot
Like I
out.
said, and the further, like when I don't drink it for a while and I go back to it, it's like it's all new to me again
It's
because
awesome.
it is a complicated drink. I mean, I get mint from that sometimes. But like I said, $35. If you are into that oaky barrel like I am, get some char and you want to taste that wood, then I would knock it up to this one. I still think beginner friendly.
I
Price
do too.
tag's a little bit more.
It's the same proofage.
Same proof, same bourbon, except this is put into a different barrel and aged a little bit longer. So if you wanted to compare the two, another good thing, because then you'll know a little bit of difference about age and a little bit of difference about different barreling and stuff like
And
that.
you'll
That's
know whether or not you like really oaky or
a
not so
lot of
oaky.
oak or not so oak. But this there,
Overwhelming, but it's really good as far as the oak balance.
yes,
It's
and this
awesome.
is an awesome drink right here. But it is about $10 higher than this one, or 15.
I think it's like 20 and you get like half of the bottle size.
No, same
Oh, is
750.
it?
Yeah, just a
Oh,
different shape. All right, so
well, that's news
it's
to me.
deceiving, huh? No, it's still 750. All right, so
I think it's
for
about
the
$20 more.
for the fourth one, and the reason I put this one in here, rye bourbon, rye bourbon, rye bourbon. Okay,
Right, guys.
so now if you're a beginner and you want to know, I don't even know if I like weeded bourbon. That's why I got one in here.
Explore your mash
You've
bills,
got
people.
to try a weeded bourbon, and Ryan mentioned it earlier. Maker's Mark.
It's not actually red like that. It's an empty bottle.
This is another empty bottle. I didn't have one that wasn't open, but Maker's Mark, a good weeded bourbon to try. It's about $30 a bottle.
A state
This
here in Kentucky.
this is not the one that I wanted to advertise for my beginner though. Although my beginner does need to try a weeded bourbon, this is the one I would want them to try. And this is the Maker's 46. All right.
A new pickup or a new-ish pickup here in the bourbon.
Also weeded. All right. Still Maker's Mark. Everything's the same. What's different about Maker's 46?
I was gonna say something, but I stopped myself.
What's different about Maker 46 is that it's got some French oak stave. So, as a beginner, and you're trying different stuff, so you're trying some good bourbon, you're trying some oaky bourbon, you're trying some single barrel bourbon. Now you've tried some staved finished bourbon.
Producer, you can't make jokes like that when one of my hands is visible.
I don't know.
That's
This joke went over my head. What happened?
the
Oh.
I said you can't make jokes like that when one of my hands is behind the.
So this is the one I'm recommending is the Maker's Mark 46 French oak staved.
Vappy Pampy, Vappy Wimpy.
What's Vappy?
I love
Vappy
that
want
name.
today?
Love the Evan Williams single barrel, one of my faves. I think he was
It
a lot
is.
more of a fan of it than I was, but I think it was pretty good if I remember correctly.
If I remember, I don't think Vappy's a beginner though. So,
I don't think Vappy went
so
Pinkle is a
you can
beginner
tell
at all.
any of these bourbons up here can be enjoyed by beginners or experts.
Like I said, guys, we're not experts, but we've had a lot of bourbon. We've had a lot of bourbon, and this is what we would pick for beginner people.
So I got this one up here so you can taste the difference in a wheated mash compared to a rye mash, and so you can sit there and you can have something with the French oak staved in it. So now you've got staved finish. Now my last one, I don't know if you'll agree with me, and this is the highest proof. Oh, I didn't tell you the proof on this. These are
90.
this is 94 proof,
Oh,
47% alcohol, 94.
that's a little steeper than this is. I think this is
Yeah.
this is 90.
Yeah, those are 90.
Regular makers, small batch is going to be 90, and then
But-
your 46 is taking it up a notch to
And
94.
I'll try this one, try it, get that weeded mash.
Because it is
uh,
very different than these other ones. They're all
Yes.
different from one
You'll
another.
have a little bit of different. You'll see a difference that the wheat makes. But my recommendation is this one because that French oak in there makes a big difference with that wheat, and
Very
it
good,
meshes well. It's a good bottle. So my last one.
I don't agree with this one.
Why?
I don't agree with this one.
All right. So my last one, Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. Now this bottled and bond is 100 proof, right? All right.
Always.
So 100 proof. Did I tell you the mash on this one?
We know it's weeded.
Yes. All right. So this is 70 corn, 16% red winter wheat, and then whatever's left goes to malted barley, 14%, I think.
Good math.
But anyway, so bottled and bond, Heaven Hill. This is man, this is a good drink. Now, is it beginner friendly? I think it is because it's so smooth. It's
The only reason I would say this is beginner friendly is after you've tried all the other ones, then move up to this one. This needs to be the
because of
last
the
one out of
proofage. But
this
see,
needs to be
I
the
don't
last
think this drink's 100 proof.
one. I do.
I thought this one drunk. This one I think drinks more than this one,
That's a negative.
and that's why we're here. So try something. You know what I mean?
No,
But this is such a good bourbon, and you need to experience what a bottled and bond is, what 100 proof is like.
once you start actually experiencing bottle and bonds, you'll notice that there's a lot more out there than what you think there is.
Yes.
I'm staring at a lot of bottle and bonds
But
right
if
now.
if you want to taste quality, this is quality. That's what bottled and bond is. They make sure that it meets all the standards at all the time to be quality. Of course, that was more in the old days than anything else. What makes this one also different is it is 7 years. All right, so now you're getting some age on your bourbons here. Okay, so this one here is 7 years old. So now you're tasting an older bourbon in that new beginning.
That being said, though, we talked a little bit about these two with the age and the price difference.
Yeah.
What are we talking about on price difference between this one and the other one?
So this is a $50 bottle.
Okay, so not too bad. Now that's at the distillery though, correct?
And that's about anywhere, and sometimes you can find them even in the 40s if you catch them in the right place.
You said that you got one of those at Costco.
Costco, I think my cheapest or my least expensive Heaven Hill bottle, it was $43 at Costco.
So below MSRP.
Yeah.
They were
And
just
that,
trying to get rid of it.
well, I think at the same time they had them at like Liquor Barn for 48, so still under 50. And these others are all around 30, guys, except this one.
It's around
It's
50,
probably around 50.
50 to 55, depending on where you go.
So, but all good bourbons. Those are my suggestions. You disagree with some, you have a substitute.
Uh, have to look,
Fair.
I'd have to look around a little bit, but I don't think this one makes it onto the beginner rack. The rest of them, sure, but mm,
I just thought it was so smooth and easy to drink that a beginner could do it.
okay. Could you see grandmother drinking that?
I can't see her drinking any of these.
Have you tried the 10-year basil? No, I don't think we have.
We haven't tried it. We haven't even tried the 10-year basil yet. So, yeah, we got 2 bottles of it,
We
both
got
unopened.
two bottles
Waiting
of
to do an
10-year.
episode on it.
We've also got a toasted Basil Hayden sitting over there,
Yeah.
which I'm sure is pretty good.
Yeah, I think it is. There's I've got some more comment or questions.
Hard to choose a favorite from those five. Um, I'm biased. I know what my favorite is out of these five. Like that's not even a competition for me. Because
We could blind it.
I could
Do
blind
you
it
think you could pick out
Yeah.
Woodford in a blind taste test against
Easily.
any bourbon out there?
easily.
Yeah.
Easily
That's why
Woodford.
Woodford couldn't be blinded for you.
Woodford would be like I could smell it and know that it's Woodford. Like it would be as easy of a choice as when we did our Battle of the 18 Years. I smelled them both. I said, I know which one's not Creek. Like it's that distinctful. Like it's just one of those things. You have so much of it and you enjoy it for so long, it just becomes a staple. Like that is a staple bourbon that I will drink for the rest of my life. Unless they close down and then I might never drink bourbon again.
Oh, you will, I'm sure.
Personally, I think Basil's my favorite beginner bourbon. It was first on our list for a reason. That's probably because it was one of the more common ones that we
It-
thought about.
Any of these bottles are easy to find. That one there was 80 proof. I remember how easy
It was
drank.
like water almost.
It was very sweet and welcoming. So any beginner, I think, would taste that and probably automatically get some caramel or some vanilla, unlike some of the lower shelf bourbons that they may drink.
It's just complex enough to put itself over the bottom shelf things, but still remain in that same price range and low proofage to where I think anyone could drink it and enjoy themselves.
And actually pull some flavors
Yeah,
out
and
of it.
actually
You get a little bit of
actually have
the
to think about
wood in
what
this
you're
one,
doing.
and yeah, very good. It's a very good drink. Uh, the most complex ones up here are probably this one and this one.
Mm, try this one.
I don't know.
You've got the staves and
The
stuff throwing the
the
different
staves throw
flavors in there,
it does throw a finish in there, but
and it gives you a
it,
lot more to think about. It does. I don't know if you all have ever had. I'm sure most people in here right now have had a stave bourbon, but it really does change the. It changes the whole profile.
well, and I said that one, and then I talked about how this one changed every time I drank it. So you would have to call that complex, right? Especially if I take a break from it and go back to it.
I think anything in the $30 or up range could be considered complex in a way. Everything's complex in a way.
Well, I think these are good choices for any beginner. If you're out there and you get the same question that we get, hey, what's a good bourbon for beginner? I don't think you would go wrong by suggesting any of these up here.
And if you have any suggestions that you think should have been up here that you know that we've had or that you can assume that we've had, let us know. And I mean, it's hard to narrow it down to five. Like there really
Well,
is a lot of good
I
bourbons
said the
out there.
top 5, and look how many's up here. 8.
Eight. I mean,
But I
it's
mean,
hard to
these
narrow it down.
I did this one because of this one. I did this one because of this one.
But
So
there's
they go behind each other, and then there's 5.
oh,
But anyway, bless you very much.
uh, I can't speak for the 46, so I haven't had it. But all those drinks are both there. All those drink above their price points. I can agree with that.
I do agree
I
with
can
that.
agree with that. They drink better than a $30, $40,
I agree with
$50
that
bourbon.
wholeheartedly. And I would put these up against some of the more expensive bottles that we've opened here and probably pick these in a blind.
I'm looking around though, guys, and like I said, it's hard to narrow it down to five. I can see bottles that I could also recommend as far as beginner drinkers.
Well, there's a lot. And I mean, we've made the comments in our shows when we do our tasting and everything that we think this is beginner friendly
Yeah,
or we think this is not. And, but I'm trying to do bottles. A lot of these bottles that you're seeing that you might think
hard to get.
are not available.
Hard to get.
So these are available bottles to anybody that can go to the store right now and get it. So if you suggest it to somebody, they'll be able to pick it up that night and not have to look for it for months
Literally
and
any
then
liquor
not
store.
want to drink bourbon anymore when they go to try to find it. You're like I mentioned earlier, just an example, Weller 12. If you told somebody, oh, you have to have Weller 12, that's the best beginner bourbon out there, and they go and they look for months to find it, and then they got to pay $250 for it.
It's not gonna go over
They're
well.
like, well, I'm done with bourbon. I'm back to beer. Well, did you enjoy being back on? Because I don't have anything else to say. Do you?
This was more of a, like I said, guys, it was more of a kicker episode just to get back in front of the camera, not go an entire month without being live. It was kind of thrown together,
I
but
enjoyed it.
we wanted to get an episode out there at least once in July. But we also couldn't make it too long because we do have prior obligations to go to. But I'm glad that we got in front of the camera. I'm glad that we got to getting back in contact with some of you all, our supporters. And I don't know why you still support us because we've proven that we're inconsistent. We have technical difficulties. We must be a little bit fun to watch anyway. Hopefully,
They like the chaos because it
it's
makes them feel
chaotic.
better about themselves.
If you think your life's chaotic, watch one episode of The Bourbon Basement. You'll feel so
They're
much
like,
better.
hey, I don't have it so bad. Look at those guys.
These guys would lose their heads if it wasn't screwed onto their body. Good Lord of mercy. But that's it from us, guys. Just a nice, short, sweet, hopefully informative video for any of you all new bourbon drinkers out there.
Or for
Hopefully,
any of you old ones that can recommend to somebody.
right.
Because sometimes it's hard on the spot to think of something. But if you can think of this episode, say, hey, what about that one?
Just shoot them our way, The Bourbon Basement.
Yeah.
And watch us send them into a spiral of just bourbon lovery.
Now, next week, I will say one thing about next week. Next week, it should be back to the way we do things.
Yes, this was an episode just to get in
It
front of
should
the
be
camera.
a history, review, tasting, and back to normal.
Great topic. Thanks for sharing. Good topic.
Oh,
Good job.
you're welcome.
Hopefully we were able to help some people out. Like I said, if you all know of any other ones that you think should have made this list and we just didn't have it in our top five, let us know.
Put them in the comments.
Or just recommend it personally to someone and then recommend our YouTube channel right behind that. Just like, hey, drink this coming Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time while watching the Bourbon Basement on YouTube.
It's awesome.
It's a good plug.
What a way to get that in there. That's good.
We do have a few spares of the merch. Maybe if you just really want to go out there promoting, and you're not going to make any money from it. We don't have anything to give, but free promotion is always appreciated. Being 3 weeks away, we need all the help we can get to get back where we were. But do you have anything else for me?
No, I'm ready to wrap it up.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We have definitely missed being in front of the camera, acting our goofy selves. Hopefully, you all took our advice and got your drink, even though we weren't drinking with you this evening. Hopefully, you all, it's going to make your time here on the Bourbon Basement a lot more tolerable if you did get that drink. But that being said, we thank you all so much for your continued support. We are going to be back on the weekly Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard live streams. Back to the normal way, back to the Bourbon Basement roots. We're ready for it. We're looking forward to it. It's been a fun evening. Hopefully, you all did go on to enjoy. All that being said, we'll see y'all Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, why drink alone?
When you can drink with us.
Except for tonight. But next time.
Next
All right,
time.
we'll see y'all.
First time back.
No.
Well, I can't even enjoy a drink, though. I can't even have a warm Kentucky.
Take a
Come here,
water.
it's good. Camera hang.